I just have to thank you for finally writing some fiction about reality TV that is not insufferable to read
Thank you.
because
That's why I'm going to put that on the, but not insufferable to read. That's going to go on the jacket.
exactly. Actually, well, I will say it in an even better way, which is like it's a really pleasurable read while also being like, you dive into some like not just the emotionality and the interiority of the characters, but like get into some of the sticky ethical stuff that I'm interested in, obviously.
Yeah.
Without that, like that doesn't stop the narrative in its tracks. It also doesn't feel like you are like so many of these books, and I've, not read them in completion, but like when I've dipped into them, they're just like they feel like someone watched a reality show once and are convinced they know how they're made, and
Right.
it's just awful. So obviously you're bringing some perspective to this, but I guess like any hesitation to like write about it in the sense that because you were inside it, because you knew it so well that like either people are going to be trying to map you onto the characters or say like that's me, the producer, you're talking about me kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you're nailing it. I mean, first of all, both that was my goal, right? Was like to kind of like capture some of the moral, gray areas and questionable material, questionable aspects of this industry that we all kind of just, that we all sort of like just accept or like ignore because we want our like fun cheesy TV, in on prime time. And so, but at the same time, to have like a plot that was fun and moving and moved quickly. So if you just wanted that kind of like quick moving reality show, I wanted to provide that for you while also sort of like giving this sort of the sort of messier aspects. But yes, like I mean, that was my big fear, was that people would think that it was some tell all about Survivor, and that's why I have the author's note. I didn't want it to be that because first of all, I didn't just want it to be like, I feel like then I'm just like the Survivor guy who wrote a Survivor book. And I wanted to be saying something about this whole industry and this whole world that is a really big part of our world now. It's obviously like been elevated into the world of politics. It sort of has come to define a lot of our current culture. And I wanted to kind of go back to the heart of it, which is these shows, and sort of like just like wrestle with the moral and ethical dilemmas within them.